Hello everyone, welcome to the session. I am Srinivas, Assistant Professor of Physics, NG College, Nalgonda. Today we are going to talk about what is inelastic collision in one dimension and kinetic energy loss in this collision. These are the topics we are going to see. Now let us see inelastic collision in one dimension. Let us assume two objects A and B and whose masses are m1, m2 and whose velocities are u1, u2. Whose initial velocities are u1, u2. And now after inelastic collision takes place, so here two bodies can move together. That means they are in contact with each other. So A, B, and total mass can be taken as m is equal to m1 plus m2 and whose velocities are same. So after inelastic collision, velocity of this total system is how much? V, small v we are assuming. Now now let us see here. According to conservation of momentum, momentum before collision must be equal to momentum after the collision. So especially in inelastic collision, only conservation of momentum holds good. See there, conservation of momentum before collision m1 u1 and plus m2 u2, so that equal to m1 plus m2 into v, velocity after collision. Now so from this one what we get, velocity after collision will get, so from this one m1 u1 plus m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. So this is the velocity. Now consider the case when the second particle is at rest. What I am assuming in this case, second body is in rest. See, this is the body which is in rest position. In that case u2 equal to 0. In that case u2 is equal to 0. Let B is in rest position. So in that case u2 equal to 0. So let us assume this is equation number 1 and substitute this one in 1. So what we get there, we'll get V is equal to m1 u1 by, so what we get there, m1 plus m2. Assume this is equation number 2. Then let us see kinetic energy before collision. So what we assumed here, the second body is in rest position, then the kinetic energy before collision is what? So that is equal to of m1 u1 square, assume this is equation number 3. That is next conservation, kinetic energy after collision, right? Kinetic energy after the collision, kinetic energy after collision. See, so that how can we write that one? Of, and the total mass of the system is m1 plus m2 and the velocity is v square, of m1 plus m2 into v square. That is the kinetic energy after the collision. Now what we have to do? So now let us see here from equation 3 and 4. Assume this is equation number 3. So from equation 3 and 4, what we have to do? We have to do is 4 by 3. 4 by 3. See what we get there, kinetic energy after collision by kinetic energy after collision by kinetic energy before collision, kinetic energy before collision. So what we get there from this equation of m1 plus m2 into v square by what we get there of m1 into u1 square u1 square. Now let us substitute v value. So what is v value? Already we got there. Substitute v value in this equation. So what is that v value here? Let that equal to, so that equal to of m1 plus m2 into by of m1 u1 square, and substitute this v value. So what is v value? So what is that? m1 u1 by m1 plus m2 whole square, So finally what we get? So we'll get, so m1 by m1 plus m2. See what is this value? That here m1 is mass of the first object and m1 plus m2 is total mass after the collision. So it is less than 1. So from this equation what we can say, kinetic energy after collision is less than, kinetic energy after collision is less than kinetic energy, so before the collision, Okay, so the loss of kinetic energy may be calculated. See here, kinetic energy after collision is less than kinetic energy before the collision. So that is why conservation of kinetic energy is failed in case of inelastic collision. See here. Now let us see how much kinetic energy loss here. Okay, so loss of kinetic energy. Let us see here, loss of kinetic energy. So loss of kinetic energy, see there, that equal to kinetic energy before collision of m1 u1 square minus kinetic energy after the collision. So what is that? m1 plus m2 into v square. Okay, v square. Now so substitute v value again in this equation. So what we get if we substitute v value? 1 by 2. So m1 u1 square minus 1 by 2 m1 plus m2, and what about v square? m1 u1 by m1 plus m2 into whole square. So from this equation what we get here? So 1 by 2 here we'll get m1 u1 square into 1 minus m1 by m1 plus m2. So that equal to will get 1 by 2. So m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 into what we get here? u1 square. So this is the loss of kinetic energy during the inelastic collision of m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 into u1 square. This is the loss of kinetic energy. So this is all about the inelastic collision in one dimension. Now let us see again elastic collision in two dimensions. Now let us see elastic collision in two dimension. Elastic collision in two dimension. Two-dimensional means let us take xy plane. xy plane. Now we'll see here how can we calculate velocities after the collision. So in this case, let us assume two bodies whose masses are m1, m2. I am assuming two bodies whose masses are m1 and m2. So this is m1 and this is m2. They are lying on x-axis. Okay, so two bodies I am assuming here. So the first body is having velocity u1 and the second body is in rest position. So there is no velocity for second body which is in rest position. So let us take u2 equal to 0. u2 equal to 0. So after collision, after elastic collision, in this case after elastic collision, what happened? Two bodies moves into different directions. This is x-axis, we know that. And let us assume, so first body A moving along the xy plane like this, xy plane whose mass is m1, and after the collision assume whose velocity, here velocity vector can be taken as v1 bar, right? v1 bar. Now second body is in this plane here, xy dash axis plane. This is xy plane, and here you assume, and whose mass is m2 and whose velocity vector can be taken as v2 bar, right? See here first body makes an angle theta1 with the x-axis, and the second body also makes an angle theta2 with x-axis. So this is the picture. Now here, applying law of conservation of linear momentum, along the x-axis. See, along the x-axis, see what we get here, m1 u1, and this term, the velocity of second object is 0 before the collision, m1 u1 plus 0 equal to, so what we get there, here along the x-axis, that is why you have to take m1 v1 into cos theta 1 plus m2 v2 into cos theta 2. Now applying law of conservation of linear momentum along the y direction. See, this is conservation of linear momentum along the x direction. Assume this is equation 1. Now conservation of linear momentum along the y-axis. How can we take along the y-axis? There is no momentum before the collision along the y-axis. That is why that is equal to 0, and that is equal. Here we'll write m1 v1 sin theta 1, and now here second object is coming downwards direction, so negative y-axis. That is why you have to take minus m2 v2 sin theta 2. Assume this is equation number 2. So from equation number, right, so from equation 2, this can also be written as m1 v1 sin theta 1, that is equal to m2 v2 sin theta 2, So this is what equation number 2. According to conservation of kinetic energy, let us apply conservation of kinetic energy law. So before collision, kinetic energy is of m1 u1 square so that equal to, there is no kinetic energy for second object because u2 equal to 0. Then after collision of m1 v1 square, kinetic energy of first object, and kinetic energy of second object is m2 v2 square. Assume this is equation number 3. Now let us consider here, we are going to find out few values, such as we are going to find out theta 1 and theta 2 and v1 and the v2 values. v1 and v2 values. These are the unknown components. So we have to find out these values theta1, theta2 and v1, v2. To find out these values, first let us assume here m1 equal to m2. Mass of two objects before collision is equal. So in this case, if you assume m1 is equal to m2, what happened? Let us from equation 1, m1 equal to m2. So what happened if you take m1 equal to m2 in equation 1? So we get, if you take m1 equal to m2, m1 equal to m2 from equation 1. So what we get there? So u1 is equal to v1 cos theta 1 plus v2 cos theta 2. So from the equation 1, and similarly from equation 2, what we get there? From equation 2, what we get there? Here v1 sin theta 1, that equal to v2 sin theta 2. Earlier what we assumed? We assumed equation 3. Now this is the equation 4, and this is what? Equation 5. Now, so from equation 4, what we have to do from equation 4? u1 minus v1 cos theta 1. u1 minus v1 cos theta 1 is equal, what we get? v2 cos theta 2. Now squaring on both sides. What we get there? u1 square plus v1 square cos square theta 1 and minus 2u1 v1 cos theta 1, that is equal to v2 square cos square theta 2. So assume this is equation number 6. And from squaring equation 5 on both sides, so from equation 5, what we get there? v1 square sin square theta 1, that is equal to v2 square sin square theta 2. Assume this is equation number 7. Now let us add 6. Adding equation 6 and 7. Add equation 6 and 7. See what we get if you add equation 6 and 7. See here, v1 square cos square theta 1 cos plus sin square theta 1 equal to 1. And finally we will get u1 square v1 square, and what we get there? Minus 2u1 v1 cos theta 1, that equal to what we get there? v2 square. So v2 square. Assume this is number 8. Okay, next what we have to do from equation 3. Where is the equation 3? What is equation 3? Here from equation 3, m1 equal to m2, therefore all m's cancel and all off's cancel. From equation 3, if m1 equal to m2, so what we get finally? u1 square is equal to v1 square plus v2 square. Assume this is equation number 9. Otherwise we have to write u1 square minus v1 square is equal to v2 square. Equation 9, right? So now what we have to do? Subtract 9 from equation 8. 8 minus 9. See there, if we do 8 minus 9, what we get? If we do 8 minus 9, what we get? 8 minus 9. See there, u1 square plus v1 square minus 2u1 v1 cos theta 1 and minus u1 square plus v1 square. So that is equal to 0. So from this equation what we get here? u1 cancel. Finally we will get 2v1 square minus 2u1 v1 cos theta 1. Okay, so from this equation finally what we get here? Let us take v1 cancel, v1 common, and it will become 0, and what we get 2v1 minus 2v1 minus, and 2 also common, so 2v1 and 2u1 cos theta 1. From this one, v1 is equal to u1 cos theta 1. v1 is equal to u1 cos theta 1. So assume this is equation number 10. This is equation number 10. Next, similarly, so from equation 3, v2 square is equal to u1 square minus v1 square, and from equation 3, v2 square equal to u1 square minus v1 square. So using this equation, we'll get v2 equal to u2 cos u2 sin theta 1, sorry, u2 sin theta 1. u2 is equal to u2 sin theta 1. So from this equation, so those v2 can be calculated, and here it is clear that v1 and v2 are perpendicular components of u1. So here v1 v2, in this case v1 v2 are perpendicular components of u1. So from these two equations we will write theta 1 plus theta 2 equal to 90 degrees. Theta 1 plus theta 2 equal to 90 degrees. So in a perfectly elastic collision between the particles of equal masses, when one particle is initially at rest, the two particles always move off at right angles to each other after the collision. So in this way we solve elastic collision in 2 dimensions. Elastic collisions in 2 dimensions. See what we have done. See here. See initially what we are taking. We are taking two objects along the x direction. They are moving along the x direction. One is having velocity u1 whose mass is m1, and the second one is in rest position, that means u2 equals 0 and whose mass is m2. When the head-on collision takes place, these two objects, one object moving with the xy plane with the velocity v1 bar, and it makes an angle theta 1 with the x-axis. In the second object, what happened? Second body is moving along the xy dash plane, and it makes some angle theta 2 with the x-axis, and whose velocity vector is v2 bar. Now let us apply conservation of momentum. So if you apply conservation of momentum along the x direction, see before the collision total momentum is m1 u1 and the momentum of second body is 0. Then the after collision, what happened? What we are considering? We are considering only x direction along the x-axis. So in this case, so m1 v1 cos theta 1 plus m2 v2 cos theta 2. Here we can split term. This is what cos theta along x direction and sin theta along the y direction. Now the conservation of momentum along the y direction. So before the collision there is no y direction of bodies. So after the collision, so m1 v1 sin theta 1 minus means it is coming downwards direction, m2 v2 sin theta 2. So from this equation we will get m1 v1 sin theta 1 that equal to m2 v2 sin theta 2. Assume this is equation number 2. Then now again let us apply conservation of kinetic energy. Let us apply conservation of kinetic energy. So kinetic energy before collision is how much? Half m1 u1 square, that is equal to half m1 v1 square, the kinetic energy of first body which is moving along the xy plane, and the half m2 v2 square kinetic energy which is moving along the xy dash plane. Then so what are the unknown components? The unknown components are v1 v2 and theta 1 theta 2. So we are going to find out these values. Now so what we have done here, see here in this case, see let us assume masses of two bodies are same, that means m1 equal to m2 and also u2 equal to 0. So from equation 1 what we get there, if m1 equal to m2, then we will get u1 is equal to v1 cos theta 1 plus v2 cos theta 2. Assume this is what equation number 4. And from equation 2, let us apply same condition, m1 equal to m2. What we get? v1 sin theta 1 equal to v2 sin theta 2. Assume this is equation number 5. Now from equation 4, let us send v1 cos theta 1 on left side. Then we will get u1 minus v1 cos theta 1, that is equal to v2 cos theta 2. Now squaring on both sides, what we get here? We will get this term, u1 square plus v1 square cos square theta 1 minus a minus b whole square, a square plus b square minus 2ab, that equal to v2 square cos square theta 2. And again, let us squaring on both sides of equation 5, we will get this one, v1 square sin square theta 1 plus v2 square sin square theta 2. Assume this is equation number 7. Okay, so from let us add equation 6 and 7. Let us add equation 6 and 7. What we get there? Adding these two equations, we will get u1 square plus v1 square cos. Adding these two equations here. So see here in this equation we have term v1 square cos square theta 1 and v1 square sin square theta 1. So adding these two equations, we will get v1 square of cos square theta 1 plus cos sin square theta 1, that equal to 1. Then u1 square plus v1 square minus 2u1 v1 cos theta 1, that equal to here also same, cos square theta 1 plus sin square cos square theta 2 plus sin square theta 2 equal to 1. Substituting, we will get this equation number 8. Now already from equation 3, from the conservation of kinetic energy law, if m1 is equal to m2, we will get u1 square equal to v1 square plus v2 square. Now let us send v1 square on left side, we will get u1 square minus v1 square, that is equal to v2 square. Now here, now subtract 8 minus 9. Let us subtract equation 9 from equation 8. After subtracting equation 9 from 8, what we get there? See this equation here, u1 square plus v1 square minus 2u1 v1 cos theta 1. So minus u1 square minus into minus plus v1 square, that equal to 0, because v2 square minus v2 square equal to 0. Now let us take here from this equation v1 2v1 common, we will get this one, v1 is equal u1 cos theta 1, and similarly from v2 square minus u1 square minus v1 square, we will get this one. So v1 equal to u1 cos theta 1, v2 is equal to u2 sin theta 2, sin theta 1, v1 equal to u1 cos theta 1, v2 equal to u2 sin theta 1. So in both cases we will get the theta 1 value. Right now the theta 1 plus theta 2 equal to 90 degrees, theta 1 plus theta 2 equal to 90 degrees. Where v1, v2 represents final velocities which are normal components of u1. See there, v1, v2 are final velocities which are normal components of u1. Therefore, we will have theta 1 plus theta 2 equal to 90 degrees. We will have theta 1 plus theta 2 equal to 90 degrees. In a two-dimensional elastic head-on collision, if the instant particle hits target at rest, then after collision, the two particles move mutually in the perpendicular direction, So this phenomenon is generally occur in case of nuclear reactions, especially in nuclear reactions. Okay, so this is the topic, today's topic, and let us see few more problems. Now let us see one problem here. A rocket burns 0.05 kg. Rocket burns 0.05 kg of fuel per second. Okay. per second and ejects the burnt gases with a velocity of 500 meter per second. Find the reaction. We know that solution of this problem is, we know that, and the reaction equal to what? So V relative and rate of change of mass, dm by dt. So dm by dt, and substitute here given there 0.05 kg of fuel per second, that is what? Rate of change of mass. So substitute here 0.05 kg into V relative. What is V relative here? How much is given in the problem? 5000, not 500. This is what? 5000 meter per second. 5000 meter per second. Then finally we'll get 250 Newton. Now the reaction force is how much? Rocket burns 0.05 kg of fuel per second and ejects the burnt gases with a velocity of 5000 meter per second. Find the reaction force. Then what is the formula of reaction force here? Reaction equal to V relative into dm by dt, rate of change of mass, and the relative velocity is given there. How much? 5000 meter per second into dm by dt 0.05. We get to 250 Newton. This is what the reaction force.